Right, let's have a look at a couple of plants I don't really talk about much, but I do really appreciate them and they are quite nice. So we've got two very different plants here, planted in the same area. One's hardy, one's not. So, Mahonia soft caress. I bought this as a fairly small plant. I think I paid about 14 quid for it a couple of years back. They're not the cheapest plants to buy, but I do find they do sort of spread and fill out pretty quick. They do put on a good flush each year. So compared to a lot of the other Mahonias that are sort of quite spiky and almost holly looking, I'm not a fan of those types, but this is the soft caress is a really quite nice, almost sort of palm looking head to it, and that's done really well. I mean, I'd put that down to the fact that because it's sort of sitting underneath the tree fern here, so when I hose this tree fern down, because there's sort of a bit of a lean, you won't really see it at this angle, but it's not going straight up, there's a real lean to it outwards, so which I done on purpose because I want it in this position between the two large cord lines, so I had to go with the lean of the trunk to try and get in the shade of the two cord lines so it weren't in too much sun. Obviously the fronds are getting quite a bit of sun, but the trunk itself is definitely a bit more shade, so that tends to hold the moisture a bit better than if the trunk itself was in full sun and, you know, drying out too quick. Anyway, so what I was getting to is the fact that because I water this tree fern a lot and it's got a bit of a curve on it, a lot of the water does drip straight down, which falls straight on top of the Mahonia, so that gives it plenty of water, so that gets watered every day basically along with the tree fern. So I think that's definitely helped, especially this year with how hot and dry it's been, and that's looking quite nice. So that's the first of the two plants we want to talk about, which I don't really mention much. I quite often sort of skip over them if I'm doing a garden tour or whatever, just because they're there and, you know, they're not necessarily a standout plant, but it's something that I do enjoy. Anyway, so second plant, so we've got this split leaf philodendron, not hardy in the UK. Well, it's probably root hardy maybe, but the foliage definitely isn't hardy. That will defoliate if you leave it outside. So this is actually in a pot sunken in the ground here. I did overwinter it in the summer house, which is there, in the pot. Just kept it dry, kept all its leaves, no problem. We did try and acclimate it to the sun in the spring, but it weren't having any of it and basically just dropped nearly all its leaves. It had a couple of sort of little growth points on it. So here we are towards the end of the season, and that's bounced back quite well. Not, the leaves aren't as big as they were previous obviously, but it's only like 3 months growth, so, but even so, there are plenty of growth points on it, and there's quite a few new leaves now emerging, so that's done okay after the initial shock of full sun after being overwintered in a darker environment, obviously not acclimatized to the full sun where it was. Right, so that's just a couple of plants which, like I say, I might well overlook on occasions, but still two plants I really do enjoy. And another one which is doing really well in a pot, it's a Livingstone chinensis. I know I've done a video on this a month or so ago, but I had it in a different position then, so I've moved it down here where it gets full morning sun, and you can see it's sort of mid-afternoon now and the top leaves are still getting a bit of sun. but that's done really well. There is actually 4 palms in that pot, and when I did buy it, I've sort of toyed with the idea of splitting them up, but I thought, no, we'll leave it as a big leafy clump, and yeah, I'm glad I did, because it just looks really quite nice and lush as it is, and yeah, I'm happy with that. That's looking quite good, and also being a pot, I mean, that's didn't really want to plant anything permanently here at the moment, because I've got a tap just behind that on the fence there, so I need access to that, so that is handy to, I mean, I can reach over that palm at the moment, but like I say, if I had something permanently planted there, then that's eventually going to grow and make it access a bit more difficult. Anyway, so just another look then. So the Soft Caress Mahonia, done really well this year, looking good. And the split leaf philodendron, so this is, dare I try and pronounce it, it is philodendron no, there's no point me even trying, I always get tongue tied with it. Yeah, so anyway, split leaf philodendron, it's a nice one for outdoor summer living, and then not too much sun, but certainly gives that exotic look with that, you know, more unusual leaf form. There's not much else that can give you that sort of look, I don't think. It's certainly not anything that's hardy anyway, unless you know different. Feel free to let me know. Right, let's leave it at that before I talk any more rubbish. Thanks for watching.